we had a very useful class because we talked about conditionals. So
Mm,
the different types of conditionals, and
ujú.
I have sent some exercises. The
Claro,
idea,
sí,
sometimes it happens like this, that I
ajá,
kind of plan my classes, but they
claro,
result
exacto,
in something different, because
exacto.
the idea was that I teach almost the same in the morning and in the evening for
Yes,
Thursdays, but it's
no,
turned out to be
ajá,
something different.
ajá.
So we
Sí,
have,
nosotros
yes, we
habíamos
have to go
avanzado.
on, yes, with this
Ujú,
beautiful talk of SRF, talking about
ajá.
living without fear. Mm? So,
Yes, habíamos
uh,
llegado hasta,
yes,
hasta las, ¿cómo le llamaba? Las,
phobias, phobias.
fobias, fobias.
Yes. So, uh, after this phobias, the brother continues talking about fear, and he
Bien.
gives other examples, and he talks about a man here. We are going
Ah,
to read
he was a
that a
gentleman
man
from the
that
Florida.
is a yes, seven
Ajá,
year that sometimes we are afraid of the spiritual path also.
ajá.
And not only us, a common people, let's say, but that
Mm,
everyone has experienced fear in his life. All,
mm.
even Yogananda, and even
Even the,
him, the brother, when he started, he tells, that's why I like these talks, because you know that they usually talk about, also they give examples and quotes of the masters like Yogananda, for example, but they also give examples of their own experience. So they are very practical, and
ujú,
I love this way of they have of uh, talking about everything, because they sometimes they read text, or they read books, parts of quotes of books of Yogananda, and they also give examples about their own experience. So in this
ujú.
case, for example,
Ok.
first he talks about a man. He says here, a man who was a gentleman from the
Jealous.
Florida Keys.
Ujú,
It was a 72-year-old man. And
ujú. Bien.
what did he says? He was so afraid of starting the path, because this is a question that is very usual
Ajá,
when we have when we are afraid of doing something. These questions that start with what if? What
ajá,
if, for example, what if I don't succeed? What if
ajá.
I fail?
Ya,
What if I don't go breathless? What if mean in
ajá.
Spanish?
Es como si dijéramos, ¿qué tal si?
Claro, ¿qué pasa si? ¿O qué
¿Qué pasa si?
pasaría si? ¿Viste?
¿Qué pasa?
Cuando,
Sí.
because we have this, that sometimes
Ajá.
we
What if?
are afraid of doing something, and that's why we say the fear makes us feel stuck or paralyzed, and for something that in most of the cases will not happen. But
Exacto.
we can't know if it will happen or not if we don't do
Claro.
it. We have to
Claro.
do it.
Ujú.
That's why he says here, for
Ajá.
example, this man was afraid of failing, because he says there's no meditation group or church in this area, that she felt alone, that if if he doesn't have a meditation group nearby in his area, maybe he won't be constant in his practices and he will fail, for example.
Mhm.
But this brother said to him, well, if you don't do it, you
Mhm.
are going to fail anyway. So
Ajá.
might you might as well try. Viste que muchas veces,
Mm.
como en español decimos, bueno, el no ya lo tenés, o sea,
Ajá.
probá a ver qué
Probar.
pasa.
Ajá.
So, ese probá, you might as well try. Or
Might as well
there
try.
is, yes,
Ajá.
they have an expression para decir, bueno, probá, con comprobar no perdés nada. They
Ujú.
say, give it a try. Give it a
Ajá.
try. Quiere decir,
Give
give
it
it
a
a
try.
try. You
Give
know
it
that try quiere decir intentar, probar,
Ajá.
a ver qué pasa.
Ajá.
So,
Ajá. Give it a try. Ajá.
yes. And then he gives another example about Yogananda. He says,
Mm.
Master said, we call Paramahansa Master, Yogananda, because he's master of himself. Master
Mm.
said, many years ago, when meditating, I used to think,
Mhm.
will I ever get ecstasy? I was afraid that samadhi would never come to me. Hmm? Here he uses two words, ecstasy and samadhi, that
Mm.
are kind of related words. Do you know
Mm.
what is samadhi? It's a Sanskrit word. You know that in English we have there, and in every language we had,
Mm.
in spiritual language we may say, we have many words in Sanskrit that are not translated to
No
any
tiene
language.
traducción.
Yes,
Ajá.
because in this is a sacred language. So, but we can explain what is samadhi. Do you know what is samadhi? To be
No sé, no estoy segura en qué pensar muy bien con Samadhi. No
okay.
sé.
Here we have the explanation.
A ver.
You can read if you want. Samadhi,
Ujú.
what is samadhi?
It's a term used in yoga, meditation, and several Indian spiritual traditions. It refers to a state of deep meditation absorption. Ah,
Yes, of deep
como,
meditative absorption.
como una contemplación, estado
Es,
contemplativo.
sí,
No,
pero como is a deep state of meditation and communion with God in the case of Yogananda.
claro, ajá.
He continues explaining, in which the
In
mind,
which the
yeah,
mind become completely still and the meditator experience profound unity, peace, or spiritual realization.
yes. So here in this quote, it's a quote from Yogananda. Yogananda said this. He said, will I ever get ecstasy? I was afraid that samadhi would never come to me. Samadhi here is being used to mean the highest state of meditation,
Claro.
a state
Mm,
of spiritual ecstasy or
claro.
union with the divine that Yogananda was hoping to attain. Él quería llegar
Exacto.
a ese estado,
A
pero
ese estado. Ujú.
claro. But he says, you can read, the quote refers to Paramahansa Yogananda. And
In,
read if you want. In his
in his
teaching,
teaching, samadhi is often described as communion with God, transcendence of the ego.
Yes, communion with God, transcendence of the ego.
ego,
Yes,
a state of divine bliss, uh, ex-
bliss,
bliss,
ecstasy,
ecstasy,
and
and realization that one's true natural is not limited to the body and mind.
yes, that our true nature, a realization, es como un estado de realmente experimentar, experience,
Sí.
that
Ujú,
our true nature is not limited to the body and the mind. So,
ujú,
here we have some example sentences to talk about samadhi.
ujú.
After years of meditation, some yogis seek to experience samadhi. Or,
Claro, mucho.
uh, yes, you can read this other example.
The ancient text describes samadhi as the highest state of meditation.
Yes, it's the highest state of meditation,
Claro, es lo
complete
máximo.
bliss, yes, and communion with God.
Ujú.
So,
He felt moments of profound peace, thought not yet the state called samadhi.
yes, maybe this is what most of us experience sometimes. We feel peace, or if we meditate with regularly and with concentration, we can achieve a state of profound peace, but because this state is being completely without thoughts.
Mm.
Because
Ajá,
what makes us feel separated from God? Thoughts, because we get distracted and
exacto.
we get lost in the mind and we don't go deep. When we can feel this or we can experience this complete silence and peace, is because
Mm.
there are no thoughts in
Ay,
our
nunca,
mind.
no sé si alguna vez en la vida lo voy a poder.
Yes, but we can,
Tengo
we
que
can,
irme a Merlo.
we can give it a try.
Oh,
So he says, in the quote, ecstasy and samadhi are closely related. Es this expression, something that is closely related, es como cuando decimos en español, están estrechamente relacionados, muy
relacionados.
conectados.
Ujú.
So,
Éxtasis, claro, samadhi.
claro, el éxtasis
Éxtasis, estado de
es
éxtasis,
el estado de samadhi,
samadhi.
are
Ajá, en
closely
sánscrito.
related. Will I
Ujú.
ever get ecstasy? Means, will I ever experience that profound spiritual bliss and union that is called samadhi? The speaker, that in this case is Yogananda, is expressing doubt about whether he will ever reach that advanced spiritual state. So, then this brother talk about his own experience, and he
Mm.
says, when I first started, you can read it, this
Mhm. When I first started the spiritual path, I had that initial enthusiasm that we all have, and it was all positive except for one thing. It manifests also in a worry of what if I leave the path?
yes, it manifested also in a worry. He also asked himself this question: what if I leave the path?
What is?
What
I.
if? What if I leave the path?
Uh-huh.
He was afraid of not being constant and at one point leaving the past.
Mhm.
So, what happened?
Well, Capel, I'm at 19 years old, I'm 20 years old, I found it great path.
Yes.
Well,
And then what happened?
I don't know if I can meet all these tests that are in front of me. I knew that this path was really my lifeline to experiences that joy of spirit.
Yes, because you know that what was his path? He decided to leave everything and enter and become a monk, a brother of SRF. So
Claro.
he was not sure if he would uh, pass all the tests,
Yes.
and remain faithful to this path. So
Mm.
I had this fear, he says.
Mhm. Would
What was
could I ever leave the spiritual path? And then I went to San Diego Temple one Sunday. No, se fue.
yes,
Brother Mokshananda was there and he read this. It's in saying of Yogananda, where someone asked the master, will I live the spiritual path? Ah, la pregunta.
claro. Will I leave the spiritual path? This was in the same question that he was asking himself. It was in a text of Yogananda.
Yogananda, sí,
That
exacto.
a disciple asked to Yogananda the same question that he was asking himself. Will I
Exacto.
live the spiritual path? And what Yogananda answered.
And he say, you can't, everybody is on the spiritual path, which is true. You know, everything we do is evolution, even our mistake.
Yes, what he is trying to say here, that everybody, each one of us is on the spiritual path. Because which is the spiritual path? The soul wants to come back home, which is
Mhm,
its original nature. All of us is our destiny of
mhm,
all the beings in this world. But what happens?
mhm,
Sometimes it takes us lots and lots of lives to realize this. And we
mhm,
can deviate from the past and we can get delayed. But it's our destiny. Sooner or later, all of us will
mm.
get will come back home. So that's
Mhm.
why he says everybody is on this
Everybody is.
body in the
Mhm,
everything we do is evolution, even
mhm,
our mistakes, because sometimes we make mistakes, but eventually we learn from our mistakes.
yes,
Maybe it takes us many, many times, and
yes.
there are situations that repeat and repeat and repeat in our lives until we learn.
Uh-huh.
But
At the end,
yes, so he
we
says
learn.
that's a baseless fear. This fear of leaving the spiritual path. It's a baseless fear. What does it mean? Something that is
A ver,
baseless. Do you
bueno,
remember what is this suffix?
la-
The suffix less
less es
means
se agrega para hacer referencia al opuesto.
exacto, without. So a baseless fear is a fear without base, o sea, que no tiene base, que no
Que
tiene
no tiene.
fundamento sería.
Exacto. Ujú.
So
Está bien.
here we have, let me check here. A baseless fear, it means that fear has no real basis. There is
Exacto.
no good reason to be afraid. And
Ajá,
some synonyms of baseless may be unfounded.
ajá, exacto.
Unfounded, groundless, unjustified, unsupported, without foundation. O sea,
Ajá,
unfounded and without foundation are kind of the same thing. It means sin
ujú.
fundamento sería.
Sin
Porque,
fundamento.
claro, foundation es fundamento. Or in some context, maybe another synonym may be an imaginary, imaginary fear. That fear is something that is not real, in fact.
Ajá, bien.
So, some examples are her concerns turn out to be unfounded. What is a concern? Concern
Ujú,
es una preocupación, cuando algo, o sea, sus preocupaciones
ujú.
terminaron no teniendo ningún fundamento, o sea, no tenían ningún
Ajá,
fundamento. Turn out to be.
bien. Ujú.
Or the
Otros.
rumors were completely groundless. Rumors, los
Ah,
rumores por ahí pasa lo mismo, que
ajá,
hay habladurías, hay cosas que se dicen y después vos te das cuenta que no tienen ningún fundamento.
fueron completamente, ajá,
Exacto, groundless. Or his anxiety was unjustified because everything was going well. When you are
en chat.
anxious for
Ah,
something because you are concerned about something, you are afraid of something, but in fact, uh, then you realize that everything is okay. So your
exactly.
anxiety is unjustified.
Ujú,
And here it said they made baseless accusations against him. And
ujú.
here it says there is a difference between baseless and unfounded. They are almost identical, but baseless emphasizes that something has no basis, that
Ok,
something is not real.
bien.
But unfounded emphasizes that something is not supported by evidence.
Ajá, bien.
For example, fear, that's why the word baseless is more usual to talk about fear, because you can say, for instance, the fear
Ujú,
that I would never learn English was baseless.
exacto, sí, sí, ajá.
And the claim that the company was closing was unfounded because
Ah,
it means that there was no evidence that
exacto.
supported this rumor, for example. Because, for
Ajá,
instance, the company continues working, uh, the company did not close, the company continued paying the salary to the workers. So there was
ajá.
this rumor or this claim was unfounded. There was no
Unbound.
evidence. No había
Exacto.
ninguna
Ajá.
prueba, nada,
Ninguna prueba,
ninguna
ningún
que
fundamento.
demostrara que eso era verdad. Ok,
Ajá, bien.
well, my friend. Um, so then he says, there is a technique for
Técnica.
overcoming fear. The master recommended. What is
Ujú.
to overcome?
Esto lo hemos visto. A ver,
Transcend.
para sobreponerse, sobreponer el
Superar,
miedo, superar,
superar el miedo
superar el
sería.
miedo.
Claro, hay una técnica para superar el
Ajá.
miedo, which is just breathing in and out. What is
Ah,
to breathe?
respirar, solamente.
Yes, inhale and exhale, breathing
En
in
exacto.
and out.
Sí.
That breathing in and out brings us into the moment. In the
Ujú.
present moment, there is no fear. Fear is only in the past and in the
And the
future.
future.
Okay,
Es
So,
simple, pero es muy comentado esto, ¿no? De mantener la
yes,
presencia en la respiración, en la inhalación y en la
yes.
exhalación.
So I was thinking because I had chosen another meditation for today to finish to do at the end of our class. And I chose a meditation by Eckhart Tolle because
Mm,
he explains what is to meditate for beginners. But
ajá,
this meditation, we will deal with this meditation in another class because I want you first. I am thinking that I want you to to you to read the transcription of the meditation
ajá,
to
bien.
understand it.
Sí,
But
buenísimo.
today we can do a meditation that is a meditation by Thich Nhat Hanh that
Ajá.
is called breathe.
Ah, me encanta.
Breathing. So let me check and I will find it.
Espero entenderla porque a mí me encanta poner atención en la respiración. Me resulta muy encantador eso, me encanta.
Bueno, primero vamos a ver la transcripción, que no es muy larga. O
Ajá,
sea,
ajá.
una parte, las partes más, como más importantes, que vas a
Claro,
ver para
para
que you,
comprenderla.
yes. So let me check where I have it. Meditations. Uh, breathe here. And you know that Thich Nhat Hanh was a Buddhist monk, and Buddhism for Buddhism the breathing technique, this meditation technique that is the same as Yogananda mentions here, is very important. They say that you can, one of the bridges to get deeper or to go deeper is the breathing. If you
Ujú.
focus on breathing, it's a very simple and easy way to
Claro, claro. Estar
stop paying attention to your thoughts and
al-
concentrate or focus
en el
on,
presente
yes.
continuo,
So,
digamos.
yes, here, let me check. Well, here we have, this is a passage
Ujú,
here. We have, this is the meditation. And
ujú.
he start by saying, breathing in may be a very joyous, pleasant practice. You breathe in and you are aware of your in-breath. And you are aware that you are alive. When you inhale, to breathe in is the same as inhale, and to breathe out, exhale.
Ujú,
And he says, simply, breathing out. So, breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. And
ujú.
breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. You just
Bien.
use the word in and out,
Ah,
and you enjoy your breathing.
ajá,
And he says, then after 1, 2, or 3 minutes, you may like to try deep
exacto.
and
Ansia.
slow.
Ujú,
Breathing in, when you breathe in, you say deep. What is deep?
ujú,
Profound,
ujú.
to go deep.
Profound.
And breathing out, you say slow.
Low.
It means
Low.
breathing in, I notice that my in breath has become deeper.
Ajá.
And breathing out, I notice that my out breath has become slower.
Lower. Ujú.
So you focus on this word only, deep and slow.
Slow.
Él te dice que cuando inhalas, pensá profundo.
En profundo.
Y cuando exhalas, just imagine the word slow, porque naturally, the in-breath becomes deeper when you start practicing the meditation or focusing on your breath. O sea, a medida que uno se va concentrando en la respiración, la inhalación naturalmente se va volviendo más profunda y la exhalación más lenta. That's why he says the in-breath is deep, and when you breathe out, you say slow. So, deep and slow are the words you use in order to maintain mindfulness of breathing alive, to be aware of our in-breath and out-breath. So, the meditation, I think that it lasts 11 minutes, but we are going to do it the first 5 or 6 minutes that it comes to this place. Because the meditation is very beautiful because you can hear the sound of the gong that this is also a way of that helps you, this sound, to focus on your breath and concentrate. Porque esas dos cosas tienen los budistas, que usan mucho el gong, el sonido del gong, y la respiración. Entonces con eso es como que uno es fantástico.
Claro, logran ese estado.
Exacto.
El
Así
samadhi.
but at least we can try and experience more peace and calm. So I will share the meditation, and we are going to do it. So let me check here. Yes. Okay. Let me check if I have shared this sound. Okay. Well, if you want, you can stay with your eyes open, but it's better to just to close your eyes. The picture and the video is very beautiful because you will see that there is a waterfall and the view is very peaceful. So it's as you prefer. You can watch it or you can just
con los ojos cerrados.
exacto. Close your eyes and
tiene imágenes lindas.
Yes, very good. Okay.
When you breathe in, you might use the word in. When you breathe out, you might use the word out in order to identify your in-breath as in-breath and out-breath as out-breath. Breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. Awareness of the breathing. We call it the mindfulness of breathing. And breathing in may be a very joyous, pleasant practice. You breathe in and you are aware of your in-breath. And you are aware that you are alive. Still alive. Because to be still alive is a miracle. That is why when you breathe out, you can smile. So breathing in, I know I'm breathing in, breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. You just use the word in and out. And you enjoy your breathing. If you know how to breathe in and breathe out and produce mindfulness, just breathing in and out can be already very nourishing and healing. It brings a lot of joy. And after 1, 2, or 3 minutes, you might like to try deep and slow. Breathing in, you say deep. Breathing out, you say slow. It means breathing in, I notice that my in-breath has become deeper. And breathing out, I notice that my out-breath has become slower. So deep, slow is the word you use in order to maintain mindfulness of breathing alive. To be aware of our in-breath and out-breath. After having practiced in-out for a few moments, you will notice that your in-breath has become deeper and your out-breath also has become slower. And it means that the quality of your breathing has increased. And it brings more pleasure and harmony within your body and your consciousness. You don't try to make it deeper or longer. It just becomes deeper and longer in a very natural way. And that is thanks to the energy of mindfulness that is in you. In, out, deep, slow. Later on, you may enjoy calm, ease. Breathing in, I feel calm. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I feel at ease. I take everything at ease. Everything is less important than my peace, my stability in the present moment. Calm, ease. And if we practice accordingly to that spirit, the pleasure will always increase. Calming, easing. And then smile, release. Breathing in, I smile. Breathe out, I let go of my worries. We might have things in us that upset us. And because of that, we cannot be free and happy. But we know that whatever that is, it is not as important as my peace in the here and the now. So breathe in and you say, smile. Breathing in, I smile. This is a wonderful smile. This is a smile of challenge. You know, nothing is as important as your peace and stability in the here and the now. So that smile is very powerful. Smile. You smile at all these afflictions that always want to come and assail you. You smile to them. You don't have to fight. You just smile at them. Smile and release. And then the last exercise is very pleasant to practice. Present moment, wonderful moment. There are many reasons why the present moment can be a wonderful moment. Because the present moment is the only moment available to us to live. Because the past is already gone, and the future is not yet there. There's only one moment for you to live. That is the present moment. As you are sitting there, mindfully, you dwell in the present moment, and you become fully alive. And you know that life is there, inside of you and around you. To be alive is a miracle. That is why, breathing in, I establish myself in the present moment. Breathing out, I know that this is a wonderful moment. According to the Buddha's teaching, you have to make the present moment into the most wonderful moment of your life. And we have ways of doing so. In, out, deep, slow, calm, ease, smile, release. Present moment, wonderful moment. If you don't remember every word, and then in, out, deep, slow would be enough for the first day. In, out, deep, slow, it can already bring you a lot of happiness.
Okay. It's a very beautiful meditation. You know that just we focus on the breathing and the sound of the water and
And beautiful.
we connect with this. I will send the link. It lasts only 10 minutes. And next class, we are going to see all the rest of the transcription of this meditation. So you understand it fully. You fully understand it. That is very, very beautiful. Well, my friend, we have a very beautiful class talking about
Hi, Karina.
not fear and
No fear.
breathing and
Breathe.
Merlo.
Very
We
very
have
fast.
everything. Yes, everything. Okay. Well, see you tomorrow or on Saturday, whenever you
Okay.
want. Tomorrow we have classes at 4. We'll continue with the Let It Be, the article. And on Saturday we have the song. We continue with the song of Michael Jackson. Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you and see you, my friend.